All right, we're recording. We're hot. Welcome to ShiftLess episode 127. Happy New Year, everyone. It's technically New Year's Eve, but by the time anybody hears this or watches it, it will be New Year's. We're still in Argyle.
Yeah.
We are in Argyle, but we have a new spot. I think this is going to be a regular spot, whether he wants us to or not, quite frankly. I'm super excited for this episode, but I want to hear Brad's opinion. What do you think about who we're talking with and what we're talking about today?
Man, I couldn't be more excited about this. It's about time that we had a cool shop in Argyle and run by a cool guy and just a great hang. I'm just excited.
I'm so unbelievably stoked. I can't even go there. We'll definitely be delving into that and talking about it some more, but without further ado, we'll save the weather forecast for later since we're indoors today. Without further ado, it's an indoor-outdoor situation, which I dig a lot. I'm loving everything about this place, but we're going to talk about it. So we are at Dusty Roads Bicycle Shop. Is that the proper name?
Yeah, Dusty Roads Bicycles. Yes, sir.
Dusty Roads Bicycles.
We call it Bicycle Lounge. We call it the Bicycle Studio, the Bicycle Shop.
I like Bicycle Lounge.
I like Bicycle Lounge.
We did start with that one, but we wanted to be cautious about it and create. But that was the idea, is that you come here to hang out rather to feel pressured of buying. So we started this.
Excellent.
Where you could hang. Literally, the social bar is what created the layout of the store. It started the whole thing. We wanted to be service focused, but we want our friends to hang out and basically do this all the time.
Yeah.
If we're working anyways and riding bikes anyways, might as well have a cool bar to hang out at, sit around, got the doors open. Yeah.
So we're with my friend Nico, and I truly mean my friend. I've known him several years now. Just an amazing wrench. One of the most knowledgeable guys I've ever come across on everything bicycle. And that's why I say we're probably going to be here on a fairly regular basis, because lots of times Brad and I talk about a bunch of shit that we don't know anything really about. I think he can help us beat through the weeds from time to time.
GCN is still popular.
Is it? I haven't watched a lot of GCN lately, to be honest with
They
you.
joke about the things that they learn sometimes too, which is good.
I actually put my problem on him the other day when I was here.
Okay.
The 12-speed dilemma.
Yeah, we're going to dig into that. We like stuff like that.
Do you have a recommendation?
I'm working on it.
Okay.
We're going to figure it out. But
Let's start with who you are, where you come from, what's your back, how did you get so knowledgeable about bikes? And I know we're going to be digging into what your plan is for the shop, but I'll be honest with you. I just know Nico. I don't even know your last name, man.
My name is Nico Smith.
Smith. Wow.
That's the easiest.
So
possible,
unique.
Right? There we go. I've been in the bicycle industry now, I could say 21 years. I turned 37 years old 2 days ago. I started wrenching on bikes when I was 16 years old, legally getting a paycheck. I started earlier as a young kid in the garage, and I was lucky enough to grow up with a shop very similar to like this in a small town called San Leandro, California, which is basically Oakland. And to have a neighborhood bike shop where I was able to go and learn from a family friend, one of my father's friends, let me learn. From a young age, I rode my mountain bike to the shop every day, and it was pretty cool to learn that. And I did different things throughout the years, but I always literally worked on bikes. And when I was 16, I got to get a paycheck for it. It was official at 16, and I worked through shops through the Bay Area, even in Southern California. Many years of performance bicycle. I became a manager in San Francisco and Berkeley at 20 years old, and I just wanted to work
bicycles.
when
Wow,
they had shops. I also worked in the one in Pleasanton, California. I just wanted to work on bikes. I soon moved to San Diego and worked for very good high-end stores down there because the scene in San Diego was very strong, and I wanted to work with the best people I could, the best mountain bikers. We worked at Cal Coast Bicycles and Bicycle Warehouse to the day. There's still existing companies that are amazing down there. And only gratitude to them for giving me the opportunity. And the big turning point in my life is I got to work for Shimano North America as a race mechanic from 2015 to 2020. And that was when it basically, you're taught how to be a professional. And I thank Shimano for everything they brought me through. And you're not only how to wrench on bikes, but how to be a professional mechanic and how to educate. And I did a lot of that. I actually got to work with brands like Specialized and Trek and Giant. I did OEM tech support, and I found a love in wrenching with the best wrenches out there and creating a cool mind space of everyone could always learn, right? It's this world of there's so many people ride different things that you always learn, and that was cool. And after Shimano, I worked at other shops in Southern California. I met my wonderful wife where we moved to Texas for her family. And I have to be honest, as a bike rider coming from California,
You didn't have high
moving
hopes
to
for
Texas, I will admit that was one of the biggest scares of my life. It was, you live in California. I knew Texas had a strong scene. I respected it. I didn't know anything about it or owning a shop or anything. And we came out here and we met Mad Duck Cyclery and Clarence and the family, and quickly realized that Texas has not one of the strongest cycling scenes ever, but the strongest community of cycling scenes. And we were blown away. We found it home instantly. We decided we're going to live here forever. We knew that. And we were working around, and at this point, we knew this after working at the shops that we wanted to bring something to the community that we felt so welcomed by. And I have to give you credit, again, being one of the best people that when I showed up, being a gravel rider, I didn't know anything. You invited me to a pop-up ride on Sunday that changed. I was just like, this is Texas. This is amazing, right? I bragged about it to everybody. So it was something so simple as that it was like, this is why we're here. And that's what we wanted to do. And we came up with this concept probably about a year ago. And it takes a long time, but we wanted to make it perfect. That's basically the story. I've worked in bikes my whole life. It's driven me to the family I have now, the best friends I have now, and also pleasantly unexpected happiness place of Texas, which is really cool. We were just talking about that last night. We both at the age of 25 to even 30 didn't know that we'd be living in Denton County of North Texas, but we would never leave now. And so we, at the point of moving forward, and we saw that you guys have created such a cool community. The riders out here, it was our job to now, if I could open a shop, I felt the responsibility that let's open this lounge, let's open the shop. And again, it's about everyone hanging out. We're doors open everywhere. We wanted to be a place where it is about that. It is about people's stories that come together. We ride all types of bikes, but we are into the mountain, the gravel, and the endurance road, and we really like exploring where we live. It's a beautiful area, and the people are the most welcoming. We feel very blessed that we have the opportunity because we work in areas that there's already shops everywhere. And there was literally the community around us was telling us to, hey, we would love it, we would love it, we would love it. And we tried it, and it's fantastic.
That's great to hear. I'm going to bring up one thing. I don't want to be Debbie Downer,
Yeah.
but it's the elephant in the room. At least I think it is. This is not the best time in the world for the bicycle industry. Are you confident that this is going to fly and this is going to work out? Are you trepidatious, or is it just it will be what it'll be?
I think all three of those. And this is the first business I've ever run from the start up, and so I have to be humble about things. So yes, the bike industry is tough, and what's tough about the bike industry is that bike stores don't hold the culture and they don't keep people, and we don't want to have a store where you need to go buy a bike. We're here to ride bikes. We're here to fix them. We're here to talk about them. If I could ever run a store off selling bikes like a dealership, and I hope the best for all those dealerships, I just don't think that's the issue right now. So it's just a lot of overhead. It's okay. We have to respect the bike industry for what's happening. I've been through it all these years. We've had great years where we're living on top of the world. Sometimes it goes back down. Good times, and I was blown away by the COVID boom. I was like, this isn't real, because I've seen bikes for 20 years before this. Yeah. The COVID boom kind of gave everybody a thing that, yeah, you could run bike shops, but that's not what the culture, that's not what the people don't buy a bicycle every 2 days. You can't expect to run a business off just selling that. You need to sell your culture, you need to sell your lifestyle, you need to sell the place that people want to go to. And I like to learn a lot from coffee shops and restaurants and lounges, that places that you don't just have product that people are buying, but you have continuous support. And that will drive a business, and that's what we're confident about. And it is a thing that I saw as a mechanic is people love wrenching on bikes. Everybody does. Even if we create a space that's fun for people and you enjoy going to that, We are confident. And now we are going to have to learn our other ways of paying the bills. Absolutely. But it is a challenging one, and especially in this time. But I also think there's no better time than now when you see all this, because if you get on this now and if you could change it,
Maybe coming in from the bottom sort of thing.
Exactly.
And then I think it's fair to say we probably have somebody sitting here who's probably a pretty good expert on the Argyle cycling scene, the Argyle market. Brad, what do you think of this area to host a shop like this?
Man, I think Argyle's been just dying for a shop anyways. The cycling it's hit or miss here, meaning there's tons of cyclists, but there's also, just like everywhere else. In fact, just yesterday or the day before, somebody posted something about cyclists on the Argyle page. And I would love for Argyle to lean into cycling even more. The more construction they do, the more bike lanes are promised, and the more cycling traffic has become part of normal traffic. And there's always going to be the haters, but I literally moved to Argyle for cycling. I was living in the colony and had been riding over here with Spears and knew that I loved riding in this area. And so it's literally one of the reasons I moved here. And when I told my wife that I wanted to be able to ride from my garage and ride everywhere, that's 16 years later, I'm still doing the exact same thing. Still post a ride from my garage almost every
I
Sunday.
got to put that door down. It's picking up this
Generator.
compressor.
I'm surprised mine didn't go off yet, just in the middle of it.
Speaking of riding every Sunday, though, where were you on Sunday?
She's got the thing you got right now. That's why I didn't get that. I literally worked the whole house, like, the day at the house, and so I had the bikes home. We had them all ready. Our Sunday went a little different than planned, but it's all right.
So if anyone's wondering, Brad's not his loquacious self. He's still recovering from a bout with the flu.
I was in bed for like almost 6 days.
Did you guys go out Sunday?
Yeah, I rode.
Okay.
Yeah, we rambled up into Denton, hit a little bit of trail, and then from Denton we rolled on to Denton Mountain Bike Trail, rode a loop out there, and then came back to East Side and hung out for a little bit, and then rode home. It was windy.
I know.
It was very windy, but I somehow lucked out. We had a tremendous tailwind on the way to Denton Mountain Bike Trail, and I thought, oh, this is going to suck coming back. It was just Vicky and I. And then on the way back, we meandered through the neighborhood, so it wasn't that bad. And then when I was leaving East Side, I was like, man, I'm going to have a headwind the whole way home. I didn't. The wind had shifted, and I had a tailwind on the way home. So I was like, I feel like I just lucked out. It's a pretty car.
Old Chevelle, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just such a cool area. I mean,
You got a cool little spot here.
Yeah.
I gotta admit, we, being dorks of all the cool technical things, we knew about this spot because of Monkey Moto and R3 over there, one of the coolest hot rod shops. And I drove by it every day, just there looking, man, as a mechanic, like they work on some cool stuff. And Argyle has some, the thing that you think is that if the residents are bringing this type of product, Argyle people love their cool stuff. Or I guess Denton County.
There is disposable income around here. There's no doubt about that.
I can't say enough. Like Brad was saying, I made a joke when I moved out here to Texas. I asked my wife, I said, I would just like to ride my bike to work like I've done my whole life. I know we're moving to Texas, but if I could have one request, I want to ride my bike to the shop. And she goes, that usually doesn't happen in Texas. It's pretty hard to do that. And it was. We couldn't do it in Rockwall. You could ride from Argyle to Grapevine for a little bit, but we couldn't. And when we did this, it was literally based around that same funny joke of that's what we asked for. We want to ride in our neighborhood. You want to go out of your house, meet your friends, like your kids, hang out. And it's the funniest thing that you chase a dream off of a funny question like that. I just want to ride my bike to work. Even if it's 10, 20 miles now, 10 miles out here in Texas, it starts to stretch to safety, especially going through some places. So people do it, but we can't say how lucky we are just to have it here, because all of our friends, you could just ride from your house if you wanted.
Yeah. Now we already puzzled out, because my first concern about this whole thing was, how do riders get here? Like, how do you ride your bike to this location? Because 1830 is not the best spot, but we've already talked about it and puzzled it out. And I can't wait to ride up here. I even thought about...
Is Hilltop all fixed and going through now?
Oh, Hilltop is beautiful.
Okay.
That's I honestly, whoever does Hilltop Road is what has made us comfort. That is one of the coolest roads that keep it calm. And
It's a
riding
highlight
it.
of the area. There's no doubt about
When
it.
we had friends,
Both
that-
ways.
yes. And I have to say, some type of like happy. Every time a friend or family comes out, I talk about how riders are riding on Hilltop. When I drive down Hilltop to show them, there's always riders back and forth, and I'm like, this is so cool. And literally, that's why to have it off this corner, yeah, it's about 75 yards from the corner there. And I know all the residents respect it, but it's a pretty cool way out there. And yeah, once you're there, man, you got gravel, you got mountain, and that's what we just want to show is that Argyle, it's a cool like explorer town. We like it.
It's a good place to gamble.
Yeah. Oh,
Word is not going to stick.
Praise to you guys for just finding that's what we love, and that's what just riding bikes are fun and going through different areas, whether it be half mixture. You guys have had such cool impacts, and I know we've ridden a couple times together, if not, but we definitely always talk about that. That's how lucky we are that those are the type of riders in our area, and even all the way to Fort Worth and back. But we're just like, we embrace the North Texas, the Denton County for that reason.
Yeah. I may have to start riding Brad's horse trails from here.
You know,
I might have to.
It's good stuff.
they are. Honestly, I took my friend over the old Alton Gene Trail, and hey, we respect those. We take care of them. But on nice days, if it's just a couple of them, and my buddy had one of the coolest gravel rides. He said, "This is hidden trails back here." I'm like, I know, it's so
Dude,
cool.
I still have stuff to show.
I believe it. I can. And I moving forward is we want. Our concept of this whole place is we want locals to show us how to ride. We're going to do a mountain bike series where we go to all the Dorba trails and we post and we say, hey, if you're the local rider, show us how to ride. The coolest thing is learning mountain bike techniques from riders out here, or gravel techniques that is completely different than we've ever had. Sure. And we actually want to embrace that because it's cool to see people that have ridden these areas their whole life and know that stuff. You're like, there's so much to learn.
So
the learning phase.
Earlier you touched on that you for 5 years, is that what you said? You were a race mechanic for Shimano?
Yes, sir.
What does that mean? What does that look like?
So technically it was called multi-service technician, which means you do everything as a bike mechanic. You do clinics, you do races, you do shop visits, builds for cool celebrities and people that are in the area throughout the warehouse of Shimano. It was a close group of 5 of us, led by a great manager, and it was like a race team. And they called it multi-service because, we did a lot as mechanics. Races were very fun. I loved working the expos like Sea Otter, and you'd wrench on 100 bikes a day for people, but it was just the best. They say the 10,000-hour rule, right? And that was the best thing. We wrenched all day. We were best friends, everyone. We traveled together. I really enjoyed doing the extra side of things of working with like the OEM manufacturers that specialize in Trek and teaching those in-house mechanics how to set up stuff properly and do that. So it was a dream come true for a bike dork, to be honest. So young bike mechanic dork who working through San Diego and everything, where I didn't really know what a road mechanic was. I only knew about mountain bikes. I got to get in the world. I got to work road worlds in Richmond, Virginia. I got to drive for famous teams. It was one of the coolest experiences of my life. And it literally drove me to that there's the education world of it and everything is what in the service world is what brings people. This is one of my neighbors. I could pause it and tell if we're filming still. Give us 5 minutes or something.
Yeah, take your time. Do what you need to.
Still full bike dropped it.
Yeah, you want me to grab anything? Yeah, I'll come grab it.
Sick Land Cruiser, by the way.
These are my name's Kevin and Brad.
How's it going? Very cool.
I'm just going to leave it running.
I love this shop, man. I came in here and talked to him the other day, and he was just talking about, he literally put an extra stand in just so somebody wants to come up and wrench on their own bike, they're more than welcome to. And I just love that thought process because like I told him, a lot of times, even when I go up to Velo, I would put my bike in the stand and do a lot of the work. I want to be involved. And a lot of times I would take my bike to the shop because I didn't have a specific tool, something like that. And I would still throw in money.
Sure.
I'm not trying to, I didn't ever want to work on my own bike in order to be cheap. It's just, I want to know what took place. And then we've even talked about having some clinics, just various clinics, just teaching people how to wrench on their bike and what tools they need, and kind of just educating people to make bikes not so overwhelming. Get with e-bikes and hydraulic brakes and various things, it becomes more and more daunting, but I just love the fact that he's trying to be open about it and he wants the hang. I love that. And I think
For now, it could change.
Oh, I'm
It
sure.
could change.
I'm sure, but
Nice Yeti too.
yeah, and he rides flats.
When the Jeep expired down, the mountain bike suspension strap open, you tear it apart, put new bearings in, do the suspension, do all of it.
That's awesome.
Bring me my baby.
There you go. Isn't that it in a nutshell right there?
Yeah.
This is what we want to be known as a suspension shop, as a mountain bike boutique shop, gravel and all that, but I've been super lucky enough to work with all that, and we do full rebuilds on everything. We love working on linkage. We think that mountain bike should be taken care of just like any other one, and bike of that year even was admitted, I've never taken it apart. That's a 6-year-old bike.
Yeah.
Come on,
Yeah.
man.
He is. It's important.
But that just shows the neighbor's love. He's one of my great neighbors, Zach, and he heard about the shop, and he's been going to a few other shops for his name. He loves them all, but I'm bringing you a full project, man. Do whatever you want. You
That's
tear it
cool.
apart. I'm like, race ready.
I'm
That's so cool.
I'm so excited. When Brad and I were touching on, he came by and chatted with you. I came by and chatted to you, and just your excitement is palpable and it makes me excited. And the direction you're talking about, working it up from the community as opposed to, I need to sell 8 units a week just to get by sort of thing. And I get it. That's the traditional bicycle shop model.
Gotta respect it. Yeah. Absolutely.
What I'm really excited about it, the potential of it is if we're able to do things all together from the ground up and build that community and so forth, then it's not shoehorned into the existing business model. Like other shops over the years, they've all said the same, oh yeah, let's get people in here. But I've got 18 bikes lined up for service. There's nowhere to put them. And I just got 20 bikes dropped off. We got to put them all together. And yeah, maybe next week's and I get it. Once that established business model is there, you start disrupting it, it screws up their whole system. I'm excited by the potential of, hey, what does a community shop look like from the ground up?
And I am too. And that's actually the coolest thing is I've been lucky enough to start from shops that were maybe they bought an old bicycle shop and all the product was there and it kind of already had this thing, but we got to start this from an empty gray box, and we get to keep working on what we want to create and drive it the direction that we want, which is definitely the hardest work I think presented towards us, because sometimes when you have a pre-existing bicycle company, you just go with it and they're all great. But I love some of these new modern companies out there like Angry Catfish in Minnesota and Regroup in Arizona that have created this bike shop scene where it's a lounge, it's a hangout, the service is phenomenal, some of the best mechanics, but it's not a dealership. We keep the dealerships out there, and if you're lucky enough to have a community, and that's why I respect those dealerships as some of those cities that you're in, you need that. Argyle, and they preserve that. Denton County preserves that. So I have to give it credit to where you're lucky enough to live. If you're able to see the audience and see we would only be able to open this to somewhere like this. And that's what kicked us in the butt in a good way, is that we had to pay attention to our friends that have been doing this for years, and that this is the only place you could do it, or one of the best places to do it. And we're excited too. It's going to be challenging, and we want it to be challenging, but we want to do it that way. This is a demo shop, so bikes are made to ride. We want people to come in and ride. If people are interested in getting them, you could get a new one, but we want to have group rides. We want to have people coming in. We want education. We want things to shop. We call it the toy store, the clubhouse. We're going to be here every day, 5 out of 7 days, but I would be here 7 if possible. But we basically say, if it's been that way since you've been doing this for 20 years, why don't we make it a place that we welcome our friends every day? And it's been like that. And we can't say how fortunate we are, because every day our local friends show up so far.
Yes.
So it's great.
I think I'm going to make myself your Monday monkey. Give me a key, hold down the fort on Mondays, and get the community.
We wanted to create a patio. We honestly can't wait till it's summertime when this door's full open and bring a grill out here. But
The fire marshal permit that?
We'll figure out the ways to do this because we are so passionate. I have to say that it's
Forgiveness, not commitment.
yeah, exactly. And it's just because we felt so honestly welcomed in this community. I wanted to make sure just that we.
Like I said,
never
I'm gonna hire Brad to put on a dinner.
We was from everyone that lives around us, our neighbors to our friends that are been incredibly supportive of the shop. It's really cool, and our brands that are helping us are just taking off. So I think it's one of the things that we're trying to do something new, and everybody likes new things, and that's the biggest thing is when you get everyone on board, the passion's there with everybody. We'll always have it ourselves, but if we could give our friends that passion and they could be happy about coming in and bringing their bikes in or just hanging out, man, come in with coffee, can watch cyclocross. I've been watching races. We want to make it a spot that the doors are open every day. Come on by.
I love the thought process of preserving the bike shop culture, like having the hang. I've talked about this so many times. As a seasoned rider, it's awesome to walk into a shop and then you can just feel the love that's in that shop. And then I think it's even more astounding for like a newcomer to the sport to walk into that shop, and even though they're not familiar with it, they can feel it, and it's something that they want to be part of. It holds us together as a community, and when you walk into a shop that has that, it just makes you want to be there. And then we've all been in shops before where even though you've been riding for 20 years, you still feel like you're not welcome there. And it's hard to put your finger on it, but
they're not rude, but it's
different stuff. And I reflect on it, and some of the stores are great. You got to have them, but like from the restaurants to the cafes, they all create that. And that's what gave us that feeling is that the people create that out here. You walk into Tractor Supply, they know our names just because we're around the corner and we're the bike shop, which is cool. And we were like, wow. They are asking about the bike shop. They care how we're doing right now. We're like,
that is cool.
So it is purely every day, just like a high five to our neighbors. This is one of the coolest areas. And with the growth of Argyle and the surrounding areas, we hopefully keep it, but like you're saying, they're promising bike paths, which we're going to make sure to stay on those meetings and do that and stuff. So it's like, hey, if it's going to happen, at least let's like do it in the right way. We have the beautiful areas. People do being outdoors here, and it was blown away that around Argyle and all those places, people like
bike walking in. Look at you,
man! You're killing it.
You stay busy out here. I guess I gotta say,
I'm dropping one off for you too.
my friends, the word of mouth. We've done light social media marketing, but I think with just the word getting out again, community people are sitting online and they Google search bike shop in Argyle and Google. Thank you for putting this up there that quick. But it came out of nowhere. We had 3 people yesterday from the Specialized website, 1 from Google, and we're like, this is
that internet thing works.
And yes, that's why we're gonna do it. We are the local shop, but we're also gonna make sure we have the online presence where if someone's, hey, I'm gonna order somewhere I can check it. You got to be linked into the modern world, but we can also make sure we keep it as classic as possible. Very cool. Let me help out really quick.
Yes, sir.
Hey, what's up, man? How are you?
Freaking love this.
It's awesome.
It makes me so happy.
I'm so stoked. I can't even begin to talk about it.
Oh God,
dude.
If I could get rid of this call.
I hear you. Is it still the flu, or is it maybe some of the mountain cedar mixed up in it as well?
That I don't know.
Mountain cedar's killing Jan right now.
I felt so. I rode on Sunday. I rode like 40 miles. Felt pretty good. And then Monday, I felt pretty good. Just tired. And then I mowed like all day, just chopping up leaves and stuff. And I think that probably set me back a little bit. But then yesterday, I just felt run down all day yesterday. It was almost like a relapse. I was just lazy all day. I didn't even go ride last night. I was like, I don't think it's a good idea.
You doing your shindig tomorrow?
Oh, 100%.
Okay, yeah. Making sure.
Yeah, in fact, I've already got all my supplies and everything. And when I leave here, I'm going to put black eyed peas on the soak yesterday. I'm going to cook those today and then prep everything else. So yeah, I'm fired at.
Good deal.
I want to ride my bike.
Did you happen to freeze my gumbo by chance?
I didn't make gumbo.
Oh, okay.
I reimbursed everybody.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah. I put a post up. I figured a lot of people wouldn't see it because once they bought gumbo, they just waited. But I put up a post and then I reimbursed everybody. I was so sick I couldn't even go grocery shopping. I was cooking. I didn't want to take the chance of getting somebody sick.
I appreciate that. That's why I didn't pick it up.
It hurt me.
But yeah, I never saw a
to
post on it or
disappoint people.
anything, but I get it.
It hurt me to disappoint people, but at the same rate, it was the smart thing to do.
No, I appreciate that. I'm going to twist your arm to make me some gumbo somewhere down the road, though.
I will.
We'll make it work.
January is going to be a little bit busy, but and then I'm at fire cooking classes back up in February.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, I've had tons of requests, so can't not produce on that. I love the whole thought process.
It's not. Oh, it's 10:09, so technically he is open, and he's already had 2 customers.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, I
Technically 3, but I haven't dropped my bike off yet.
I can't wait. I'm excited for the first time that I ride my bike up here, even though it's not far. I was thinking it'd be cool to have.
Yeah.
I've ridden my bike to other shots. It's more an adventure, if you will. Like
A production.
This will be like, dude, I'm just gonna ride to the shop and get a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. Pretty damn.
I can't quite pull that off from my place on a hop, skip, and a jump, but it's what I'm excited about is that I've always wanted to do just a regular weeknight ministry ride,
Yeah.
and this is the perfect place for it, sort of thing. I'm tremendously psyched.
It's you.
How did he find you?
Google. Gosh, man. I just asked him. I said, "How did you find us?" She goes, "Google." I accidentally closed my brake pads on my walking kicker, and I just Googled bike shop. And I said, "Where do you live?" He said, "Harvest." I said, "Thank you, Harvest."
Yeah.
Literally Harvest in Lantana and Pecan Square.
Yeah.
Our neighbors all live there, and I joke that those 3 neighborhoods alone have enough cyclists through them that they need a shopping. The first day we had Joey Pratt and his wife come by from Lantana.
Yeah.
We've had 5 people from Lantana come by, 2 from Highland Village yesterday. He's Harvest.
Yeah. No, there's tons of
Literally, I know that's what it just blows us away. And the coolest thing that it just shows that people that ride bikes that need help, like him, just simple thing. He said, "There's no bike shop," or he just joked. He's like, "There's no bike shop around." He's like, "I couldn't fix this."
Yeah.
And the reality is, and this is where I got complete faith in you, is it wouldn't be shocking for him to walk into some of the bike shops around and somebody imply, "I was stupid."
Yeah. That's why, and again, I was just like, "Hey, man, when do you want to ride?" And he straight said, "I want to ride tomorrow. It's New Year's Day." Like, you could tell this guy loves his bike. Like,
Yeah.
He made a little mistake, but he needs his bike tomorrow. And he wants to start New Year's on a good foot. Get that bike right back to you, man.
But it's just a hydraulic bleed, right?
Yeah, we're gonna fix it up and its hangers. But I know I get it. Like, big shops get busy, and then that's why hopefully, again, this is all in a great partnership with big shops. We hope that they say that we need to help our neighbors, they need to help them, because sometimes when our local neighbors end up going to other areas, he even said he used to live in the colony. He's like, just so busy over there.
That's an understatement.
Yeah, so it is one of those, man. We wish we could and we are trying to give high fives to every single person who walks in, because to show what the modern world, if someone goes on their phone and types in bicycle shop sitting at home and Google gets us right there, it's man, whoever did that, thank you so much. I know my wife followed through all that stuff.
Once all those 5-star ratings start
popping up
there,
and even Specialized, like I said, we had 2 customers yesterday that were just shopping on their own at home looking for a new bike, and in the corner of the website it says, "There is a bike shop in your town," and they both said the same thing. They got off their computer, were like, "We didn't realize you were open." I'm like,
"Yeah."
It's open.
So you bring up a good point. You said you're a demo shop,
Yes, sir.
and a big chunk of your demo fleet is Specialized, correct?
Yes, sir. And we'll bring in Yeti and Salsa and the brands that we love and stuff. But as of right now,
Salsa.
Yeah. I love all the brands. We've had great lifelong connections to Specialized. I grew up next to them in California, and I've had friends that have helped me through my industry to the point of getting me to the best networking possible through Specialized. And I respect all the brands. They all make great bikes, but I've always respected that if you look out for your friends and you help each other, and I really do think they make something really cool. So we all ride, and we like Salsa. I ride Yetis, but Specialized, and I will admit, being a new bicycle store, is that you have to look for help, right? You have to look for help that people that do this for many years. I'm going to open the door with you.
You got back door guests too?
Brands like that. brands like that they want to help these pro shops. So literally while people are shopping online, like our rep has already got us on their website where if someone's sitting at home and they're in, even in our North Texas area, they could see that we're open now. Hey, the demo wife.
And Bomber. I don't think we've met.
Oh, yeah, I'm Becca.
I'm Kevin.
It's nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you, finally.
I'm Brad.
Brad, nice to meet you.
Nice hat.
Yep.
Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you. How are you?
And this is
we're doing great.
the brains behind all of it, to be honest. Like I've
We're
been saying.
so happy y'all are doing this.
Oh my
We
gosh.
We're so happy to be here.
I'm so stoked for
So
y'all.
dogs are too. Oh, we're just missing Leonard right now, to be honest.
I know. I thought about bringing him, and I was like, it would be chaos.
It would just be
My
pee
dog.
everywhere like last
Yeah.
summer. It's all right.
He is a little over a year. He's about a year and 3 months.
He was awesome. He's a big boy.
This is why I need. This is why I need to get Ellie sorted out. 'Cause I want to be able to bring her here
Oh,
too.
and let her, like, because even if she tries to, these dogs are all in a friendly way. They're all good friends.
Wasn't sure if you're still recording.
But we are.
No, it's all
I
right.
brought Leonard up here the other day to hang out, and it was just utter chaos
Oh, really?
in the best way.
And like I said, Bomber, I blame it on Bomber. He peed on everything because he was trying to be macho. And he was just like, but that's what it's like. If you're welcoming new friends at the shop, right? They play for
Yeah.
the doors open over there. But so yeah, and the demo bikes is we plan to have demo bikes of the bikes that we ride. Or more of the bigger questions. The mountain bikes by far are the biggest demo requests. So we do have a fleet of Turbo Levo 4s from Specialized for people to try. The demo works it's $100 for a 24-hour window. I say 2 to 3 days. We want you to ride that bike 2 to 3 times. You could take it to your local trails. You could take it anywhere. If it's a gravel bike from us, you could take those out. That's why we want to give you a window. If you wanted to go to Arkansas for the weekend or Oklahoma, like take the bike because that's how we ride them. If you're just looking to rent it for the weekend, $100, that's awesome. Have fun. We'll set you up. If down the road you end up buying a bike of any brand, the $100 obviously is subtracted, or however many demo bikes you go through. I've helped manage a few demo stores through California, and it really is one of the coolest services that people look for. And that's what helps. You're never pushing sales of bikes down people's faces. You're just saying, try this, have fun. I don't own an e-bike myself, but I will take an e-bike out every single ride with friends because it's one of the funnest things out there.
That's been one of my biggest struggles as a bike customer.
So try it.
It's almost impossible to actually test ride a bike for real.
And I would say it's impossible to almost have every type of bike to test ride.
Yeah,
And so getting in the demo world, that is the biggest thing is you'll think you have all the bikes that people want, and then you'll still get the calls for things like road bikes or this. And it's like, I wish we had it all. I really do. So what we're aiming is that we want people to ride everything, and hopefully we get to that point. But starting forward is it's mountain and gravel. Like
That's all you need.
yeah,
That's all you need.
exactly. We want to show equal love towards normal bikes and e-bikes just because we see that the world of e-bikes is helping riders enjoy the experience more. Yeah. Our Turbo Creo gravel bike is one of the coolest things because it's such a normal gravel bike, but it allows a rider to enjoy it more. So we have manual bikes and in e-bikes, but that is the process. And we will bring in other brands of Salsa, hoping to get a few of the new ones that they're releasing. We already know about. We love Salsa and probably a couple Yeti e-bikes. But the whole thing is that there's no pressure to buy one. If you honestly have a friend or a family member in town for the weekend, or you want to come grab one, you just want to have fun, that's what we want. We wanted to have that like garage.
Yeah.
Come ride a bike. Because we do respect them all in all that ways. We try to equally ride our own bikes, but we want to give that place where we could answer the rider's question of like, how does that new bike feel? Like, hopefully we have. And then of course we'll rotate those. People are always interested in e-bike or demo bike purchases, and you get the new one and rotate it. So that's our concept of how we keep the fresh on the floors, that we'll all ride them and all have fun, and then we'll get the next fleet and move them on. But at least it could create that ability for someone to just answer that question. Yesterday, a customer just wanted to get sized. I pulled the S4 down. He was able to ride it, and he wasn't able to do that anywhere. And I was like, that was an easy question. Hopefully it works out. That's going to be a good driving thing, and at least the bikes that we're going to ride will help us turn that. Huh?
What's the one thing or the biggest thing that you're not able to do yet that you're wanting to do? Or are you able to do it all now?
No, never. That's and that's a great question. I can't say that we haven't reached the need that I'm missing anything yet. We are overwhelmed in a happy way by the support already. And as those people come in, it's literally helped building out the shop and seeing the things I'm missing here. But obviously, if we could start with a demo fleet of 100 bikes, that would be ideal. Just
You
so
don't
we-
have room for
Yeah,
that.
that would be the only thing. Is if we could
We'll have
a
to get that
demo fleet of
loft up
100 bikes,
quick.
just going back, because our concept is a ride shop. And yes, if you want a ride shop, you want every bike and every size. So if we had the ability to do that, would be the biggest thing. But that's never a stopping point. We are extremely happy where things are going, from the people who are riding to bringing bikes by. And we actually just want to keep growing from things coming in and building a shop like that.
Again, back to the bicycle industry in its less than ideal period right now that's been going on ways so much longer than I ever expected. As a new bike shop, what's that like for you to source parts or bikes? Or what is it like in the industry right now? Or this is the water level and this is where everything is? We all know how it is, or is it still ups and downs?
It seems like that. You always hear sad stories through things going on. You also hear happy stories of companies being bought back. I guess the up and down is realistically what it is. I'd like to think that things are always good, because I'm a firm believer that bicycles will always be around. They've been around for many years, and even through the rough times to the COVID booms where we have the best years, the reason that cycling is a world famous sport and hobby is because it does bring people joy, right? And even if it's not about the money for a couple years and it goes rough, I don't think that people ever lose their passion of doing that hobby. Now it's our job as a shop to adapt, right? And as I said, so as we do go through the tough times, it's hopefully we could be the shop that people find the fun shopping at, which will help pay those things, the fun experiences out there will drive that culture, that drives customers. We want to look at it as many other outside ways of bringing in, keeping a bike shop alive, rather than focusing on what the dollar amount of selling is.
What about like the sourcing of parts and supplies
You know,
and everything like that?
I have to say, I think it's getting better. I think we stay on top of it. Now, parts, when they're popular, they go out of stock very quick. I have to give credit to companies that I think they're producing as best as possible, for sure. But like popularity of parts with a lot of new drivetrains, is you got big companies that buy thousands and millions of units at a time. So I never want to say that the companies aren't doing their job, but it's just you got to get in the game and kind of figure out how to save these parts and if you want these things. And it is battling big companies that have professional buyers to do that all the time. Exactly, that sit by a computer and wait for it, and we have to see what we sell each week. But I think that, to be honest, sometimes there's no excuse other than like just looking into it and making sure if you know the products you want, the companies are making it. Every cycling company out there wants the industry to grow. I would like to think that everyone's on the same page, of that they all want to get this back to the coolest thing ever. So I think it's more just about popularity. Sometimes things get real popular and it is hard to get certain frames, certain parts, but
Continental tires.
it is production. Hey, I don't know how the worldwide production works, but yeah, you just got to work with it. And again, learning about all that is one of the coolest parts.
So you've been exposed to the broader cycling scene in the past few years than Brad and I. Brad and I hang out in our adventure, bike packing, gravel niche. So our perceptions of the cycling community, crowd, whatever, is very oriented in that direction. What is the hot area of cycling now, or is it all just what it is across the whole gambit?
E-bikes.
Well, we've had this discussion a bunch that, what is the e-bike market now?
So I'd like to think almost every company is focused on e-bike development. It is just the way it's going, because e-bikes are road, gravel, mountain, leisure, like it's all of them. And that is the new consumer, and that has been the direction, I think, for the past 10 years.
10 years.
And that's why, again, we bring the e-bike demos in, because that is, out of 10 calls, we will get 8 asking about e-bikes.
So 80% of the market
at least out here too. Oh yeah. And I think a lot of it's too, it's not just the high end of this, but like the leisure bikes, like the electric and Avatar.
That's what Brad and I have been talking. I'm of the opinion that I think maybe the higher end e-bike tied more to like our Yeti traditional type, the crowd, Brad and I think that's probably plateaued or evened out. I think it's the lower end is where the real market is now.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's about money too. Everybody doesn't have hot rod
$8,000.
month. And it's also a community. Even though we have a lot of cyclists in our area, a lot of people that ride bikes on our type of trails or recreational trails are riding hybrid or leisure type e-bikes. So it's just more of that. That's the common rider, which that's really cool to see because
And I guess that's
Yeah,
what I'm saying.
exactly.
I'm not familiar
Yeah.
with that
yeah.
end of the cycling. Nothing against it.
No,
It's just that's not who I
You
overlap
were right though,
with.
but it is true. And we were talking about that at the last shop and everything, is that cycling industry has done some studies where cycling interest has gone up, but the follow through is actually not only fallen, if not just plateaued. It doesn't keep going. So people get interested and then it goes like this.
Yes.
And that's why the other ones are picking up. So yes, the cycling dorks like us that are always into bikes, we're always there, but to
that's
keep-
where it's on the community.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
that's,
Be
and-
welcoming.
And and that's what I'm trying. How can I help that part of the community?
Yeah.
That's what I'm not
the
familiar
people
with.
that have done it out here so much is what have shown us that there is a need for it, because we have so many residents out here, whether it be new or residents for 20 years, that do riding their bikes, and it could be in every aspect of a mountain bike, a road, or gravel. They've never had someone just to help them out here, and it's a hassle to drive 40, 50 minutes to go somewhere to get turned around for 2.5 weeks to do something like that. And so we literally have to say that we were blown away by knowing how many people already rode out here, and it was that area of like that. And that's what we hope that could bring it back up, because in my opinion, I think the fitness thing is coming back in. I see a lot of people get into cycling. The past couple customers, we talked about mountain bikers. They have to mountain bike to keep in shape. They have families, they don't want to ride the road. And so not all of us are just bike dorks about it.
Right.
It's the fitness aspect. And I think in Texas, I go back to that, I give the Texas endurance fitness scene probably one of the most strongest scenes I've seen throughout the States. And when I was leaving California, talking to some companies about coming out here, Texas and Washington State were the two places that
That's-
companies are focused on.
That's
Yep.
that's definitely been my experience
Yeah.
over the years.
It's because people are moving out here. We have so many people move out of here that are experienced cyclists that now live in Texas and that have been racing for years or riding for years. And
Yeah.
now they just happen to live here. And it's like, Texas really does actually, hotter than hell. One of the biggest bicycle rallies in the world is one of the coolest things to see. 13,000 people show up and ride their bikes on the hottest day of the year in one of the hottest places. It's like Texas has a scene where people do it because they want to get that endurance, they want to get that fitness, which that's what we're about it.
I think the year-round riding capability has a lot to do
oh,
with
yeah.
that.
Yeah, even if it's cold, but it's beautiful out here. And
Cycling's one of those things that's rewarding all the way around.
out
Like
here-
from an individual standpoint, like going on a ride, doing your personal best, going for your longest ride, just that sense of accomplishment. But then there's also the community aspect, the friendships that are formed
That's-
around bikes,
yes.
around bike shops. And then there's that, just the pride and ownership and getting that bike, your dream bike. And there's just so many rewarding aspects of cycling. And I think that's the biggest draw that some people stumble into bikes and don't even realize how rewarding it is. And for a lot of people, myself included, it turns into a lifelong obsession, and it continues to reward all the time, And
It is true. I hope a lot of people say, I've met a lot of people that come from different aspects that start riding bikes, and they say that they felt better mentally, they felt better physically. And I'm like, this is why I did it too. I grew up as a commuter in Oakland, California, San Francisco. I wasn't a racer. I rode bikes to get to school, to college. You find this sense of friendship with people, and then you get this, and it's a hobby you could carry through everything because it never really takes over your life too much. It's always a positive thing, right? But I joke is like, the cool thing about owning a bike shop is that we're not an insurance company. Every customer that walks through that door is in a happy mood. And that's it. Many people that open businesses sometimes have that risk of your work with customers that are not necessarily wanting to be there. Luckily, I found the passion that we want to build a place where people want to be there every day. We want you there, and that is out here, and that's what they have. I was blown away by the Texas community, and again, we keep it. When we came out here, when we saw friends that welcomed us on rides every weekend, just showing us things, I was like, and I still tell us to my friends, these are some of the most diehard riders of all ages, of all aspects that I've been in many states. And it's a thing that's just people find that, right? You guys put miles in out here. Some of these events like yours, the Rat, Race Across Texas, people don't do that anywhere else. These things are just super cool to see them. Like, this is amazing that people do this all the time, and it's just part of their life. And it's because you get to explore, and it's that's why we're out here. It's a joke, it's the Wild West, but it's like, you take me back to that.
Yeah.
So do you have a long-term objective for all this, or is it goes where it goes?
You know, as a natural person, I will always hope things go as way. I'm a firm believer that's what, but our objection is to be the premier service shop of North Texas. We want to be known as very professional in all aspects, but the biggest community shop. We want people to be able to come learn, to come work themselves, to feel at home anytime. You guys come do a podcast if you need a place to be. So our objective is to be that, I guess we keep calling it the lounge in the clubhouse, is to be the best one where every day, no matter what's going on, we'll be there. But coming from the service aspect, my goal is to drive education through service to the highest service possible out here. I really like keeping things to the best condition, and hopefully a lot of riders will see that we can provide that here, and it's a fun part of the whole bike thing. But we have to naturally let things happen, because that's how we came up with this idea. And to be like humble about it, you have to let that do. And so our drive is to be at every local event, be friends, show us how to ride, come work on your bike here. Basically, come hang out at the clubhouse.
So you're obviously service oriented. So you offer a menu of services, right? Tune-ups and like flat changes,
Yes,
and
sir.
wheel
Yes, sir.
truing, and do you do wheel building?
Yes, sir.
And then I know you said suspension.
Yes, sir.
You're big into suspension rebuilds and tune-ups and
Yep.
and servicing and preventative maintenance, and you're wanting to be absolutely 100% full service. So
Aiming for it.
I think it's
It's going to be fun. It's hard work, I will say, and we definitely, as you grow, you have to have a good team. So we want to gain people, and we want our friends to come help. But
sure.
coming from the world of that, your bike does work the best and enjoy it the best when you take care of things. A lot of people that get these nice road or gravel or mountain bikes aren't just educated about the things that need to be taken care of. And we're not
Right.
going to overdo it. You don't have to rebuild your fork every 6 months and things like that. But
Right.
out here where we have some of the harshest weather and conditions that I think cyclists go through, and I've experienced that with my own bikes here, is that we just want people to know that, like Brad was saying, your favorite new thing is taken care of. We could provide all the high-end suspension service. Obviously, it doesn't look like a full suspension warehouse, but we do it all the time, and we like doing that. We like wheel stuff, but we also just like saying, hey, this is what it needs. You don't have to overdo it all the time, but if you trust me with our whole concept and kind of thing is that if you trust me with your bike, trust us with your bike, we'll make sure that it's perfectly set up. But as it should be all the time. It's per request. But we go for the right way all the time.
Yeah. Your biking experience is directly reflective of how well your bike is maintained too, because everybody's been on that ride where your shifting is off or your brakes aren't working proper or whatever, and it diminishes from the overall experience. So taking care of your bike is taking care of curating those experiences.
I just say, honestly, that's what I like to say is I feel real bad when people go on trips or rides and something simple happens to their bike and they feel like they can't fix it on their own.
Yeah.
That would ruin a weekend for any of us. And that's the thing that's set at heart is like, we want people to know that you could fix this, or now if it's a big problem, yeah, come back, we'll take care of it. But we want you to know how your super nice bike that you love works and how things can be fixed, and we'll always be there too to help. But I think that's what drives the experience better, is that if people do have these fun weekends on a very fun demo bike or their own bike and everything works perfectly, you have a pretty good smile on your face at the time, rather than being mad from a simple mechanical or something and you have to go somewhere. So it's our job to basically make those processes and experiences as best as possible, hopefully, on top of everything else.
So you are a new shop. How new are you? How long ago did you open?
So we officially opened the day of Rudolph's Revenge. Saw December 14th.
And today's the 30th.
Yeah, I have to say, I know.
It is new.
Yeah, we aimed for as quick as possible. We wanted to be open the holiday times just for people to have a place for the holidays. It wasn't about holiday sales to us, but it was more about we wanted to a place that we were going to be here for the holidays. It's kind of like we're all riding our bikes. We knew it was fun. If we could at least be open during the holiday times, and we were, and I think Real Revenge, a lot of friends saw it. But to be honest, it's only been about 2 weeks. We plan to have a grand opening into January where we're going to have a food truck, where you're going to have hopefully some of our bike vendors out here, have a day at the shops. We have to say that we're still just in the soft opening phase, but by the community support.
Don't do that on Texas Chainring Massacre.
Yeah. Oh no, we'll be there. Oh, trust me, I've already been texting everyone. We'll be set up, and
You keep talking about not everything's here. I'll be honest with you. For a shop that's only been open 2 weeks, this is like one of the best equipped shops.
Dude, have you noticed how many tires are in here?
Yeah, that's what. Okay, so what you have in stock now, brand wise? Obviously, you talked about
Yeah.
Specialized for the e-bikes that you're carrying right
so right now, Specialized in Velectric, and Velectric is a different level of a brand. They're much more that consumer
Consumer
e-bike,
level, kind of talk
throttle, pedal assist. But that's what we have a lot of clients or audience out here for that, for those people that have RVs and campers and things. When it comes to the normal bike manufacturers, we have Specialized right now, and we'll have Yeti e-bikes coming in. Salsa, we'll have more of their manual bikes just because we're huge fans of those ones, because we want to keep it equal. But the Velectric, we wanted to make sure that people have demos of electrics. Those things we get calls all the time about. Those are super popular, and they're actually very fun to ride. Like we joke, there's a hunting bike. If we had property out here, you could take that riding around, and rather than an ATV or whatever. So these things are super cool, and we honestly dork out about them just as much as the people that want to.
Okay, so along with, again, me not being familiar with that market, that consumer sort of thing, what's the range on one of those, and can they put up with single track, or do they need to be tamer? Or
Yeah, those are definitely more like the consumer type riding bike, where the leisure, like you could take them off road. They have a 75-mile range on their batteries.
so they can do 75.
Oh, yeah, they're obviously much heavier. Those are 60 to 70-pound bikes. Some of them are 45, the folding ones.
Fair to say they would be very comfortable on gravel.
I would say, let's say something like the Net Trail, maybe like where you don't run into like single track gravel. They do have a mountain bike version called the Summit, which you could absolutely take on mountain bike trails. And I've actually seen a few people ride them here at Knob Hills and North Shore. So they do have the offerings of that.
People that are riding those type of bikes, what does their riding week look like? Or is everybody just completely different?
I think the people that buy Velectrics and the riders that buy Velectrics is much more of that very casual, going for a bike ride to enjoy the sunset, to ride around the block, to ride around the RV park or stuff like that. The customers that may want to try like our Specialized Creo or the Levo are going to be like the riders doing the spin ski rides, doing these adventure ones, because those are more of the cycling bikes, the bicycle bikes.
I get that. And it's when you talk about that 80% of the
Oh,
market,
totally.
I'm not
And
familiar
that's what the
with.
new thing is. I saw this in bike shops, is that you have to embrace the new consumer.
Sure.
Because to be honest, if
Because you got to pay the bills.
we all ride bikes differently. If you were to walk into the neighborhood of any of these neighborhoods right now and ask 10 of the families what type of bikes you'll probably get 8 out of 10 that look at those as more of a welcoming type bike to ride, more of a like they could get on it, they could pedal it around. We've grown up riding bikes our whole life and can control them and can move it. To new people that see bike riding as enjoyment, it really is. It's not every. You got to be as cautious as possible.
Sure.
And I enjoy riding those things. Again, when we were hanging out in Grapevine, the bike paths around Grapevine, those are awesome. You cruise around. If you have a city to live in like that, you could even around here, you could ride to your local restaurant. You could come back. So to be honest, I think they serve just as a cool purpose as some of these other e-bikes and higher end ones. They're just not in the world of the cycling brands that are up and down right now. They're in a more of a consumer world, electronic world. Yeah.
I'm seeing Ergon stuff on the shelf here as well. So are you you're an Ergon dealer?
Yes, sir. We wanted to carry all the products that over the years as we rode mountain, gravel, and road, we found brought a benefit to someone's bike experience, whether it be comfort or cool product or things that were the hottest ones. We also want to work with all the brands that are the strongest in the scene. I think everyone needs to be comfortable on the bike, and it's one of the most overlooked things, especially in mountain biking. A lot of road riders know to get fit, a lot of gravel riders. But in the mountain bike world, you got a lot of people just get a bike and go ride, and they complain about their butt hurting and stuff like that. That could be fixed. It could all be fixed.
Right.
So we honestly wanted to put the products here that if we walked into our own garage or our own toy store, it's the things that we've chosen over the years, we've ridden, We like to hear reviews of people specialized in their body geometry. Program is some of the best saddles and clothing out there, and I've seen that for years, and that's what we're very excited to carry them. But on the side of that is we love brands like SQ Labs and Ergon, Wolf Tooth. We want to carry all the ones that really, you guys have stuff on their bike, right? And I've seen it. We all have Wolf Tooth. So it's about, I even told this to my, I won't buy product just because we had it. We buy it, we sit down there and we look through the catalogs and we literally dork out of, man, I love those grips. I love that seat. That one was really cool. This one fits this. So we go by recommendations. We go by what people like, but we also wanted to create the product that over the years of going into shops out here, the ones that people don't have at the shops, because unfortunately, a lot of those big shops are forced to buy their in-house product, which is fine. They're all great stuff. We have the ability that we get to pick out our product and bring the local stuff. We wanted stuff to make people feel good on their bike. All of us like comfortable things, and every part of the bike could be changed, and it could be set up so that you're enjoying it. And like I said, if we wanted to create these displays to look as if you were walking through the shopping section, you wanted to create fresh product in your face, and our concept is no back inventory. We want the cool stuff, and work with the local brands, work with the brands in our local catalogs. Yeah, we like it. I mean, honestly, it's hard to choose stuff sometimes because we're supposed to sell one product, everywhere. You tell us it's hard to do that. We love working and seeing how each person is like, hey, this one works better for you. This works better here, and this and that. And
like this cyclovation tape, the one in the brown box is some of my favorite. I love that stuff.
I saw it at other shops. I like to pay attention to where people talked about things that they liked on their bikes that they got. You saw that one, like, let's carry this. Let's carry this. And it's if someone was like, hey, I want that seat, we could get it. We like it. We like to show that you came in, and luckily we've had a few customers already done this with a brand new bike, and they go, hey, obviously it's a clean brand new bike, but I need to change everything for it to fit me properly. New bars, new grips, new stem, new saddle, and that's it. It works perfectly with the other bikes.
And I know this is, I'm not trying to suggest this. I'm not saying this should be an expectation of you, but I know a couple of the big areas that people want to see selection when it's possible, and I know it's difficult, extremely difficult. What about shoes and helmets and things like that? Are y'all going to be delving into that as well? Or
we are a specialized as well as Shimano dealer, so we're going to stick to those two brands. I think they make some of the best shoes and helmets. Shimano has laser helmets. As of now, we do have specialized shoes already fully stocked up. We have helmets stocked up. We are going for the mid-level to good performance product. We don't need to carry the highest end stuff that's unnecessary, but we don't also want to carry the stuff that you could buy at maybe some of the sporting goods stores. We know it's sold. We believe that kind of middle level product from both those brands, Specialized and Shimano, between the shoes and the helmet, where people are pretty much set. And we don't want to give too many, here's 17 different helmet options, because if you believe in a certain one and we ride a helmet, that's what you want to tell someone.
Sure.
And I've been very happy with those products for years, and those will be the ones we carry. Now we have accounts with everybody else too, but those are the ones you'll see stocked. And we will be carrying cycling apparel from Specialized, maybe Velocio with SRAM, but we want to give people the ability to get a fresh setup.
You have any insider knowledge? Is there anything new out there that's about to hit the market that we should be excited about?
Excited is, I guess, a pretty interesting word. Some people, I think everything is getting very digital, is what's going on right now. Every single thing is becoming some type of battery operated.
Speaking of, what are your thoughts on the portable pumps? The little electric pumps. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think they're great.
Yeah. That's my next purchase.
Oh.
That's one of the things that I've been eyeballing so hard, and I've yet to pull the trigger on. I've used one on multiple occasions, but to me, it seems almost like what you were talking about, consumer level e-bikes. It seems like even though Silca makes one and Muck Off makes one, it just seems like they're all buying the same product and putting their name on it.
I think some of them are. I see some of the cheap ones that are. Yeah, if you have a tiny handheld compressor, all of them will work perfectly for about 30 attempts, and that's when you start to see the difference. And so, like the Amazon ones that you see where it takes an hour and a half to get to 90 psi because of the little motor.
So
But
steer me in a direction. That's what I'm looking
I
for here.
think the good ones, to be honest, we carry the muck off one.
Yeah.
I think the muck off one is the better of them. We've tested it a lot. I think that at first when it came out, I was actually skeptical. I'm like, who's going to carry a tiny compressor in their pocket? You know, like
Yeah.
we have CO2, we have this,
But CO2 is disposable.
and I didn't think that not everyone knows how to use CO2. It is
that's
tricky.
true.
It is very tricky to.
And even when you do know how to use it, sometimes it doesn't work.
It was more of, hey, CO2 is so much smaller and so much easier. Why are people putting an electronic pump in their back pocket for?
And it doesn't have a gauge on it to tell you.
A lot of them do now.
No, I'm talking CO2.
Oh, yeah.
That honestly is one product that has completely, not what I thought of it, completely been the opposite. People love them. They buy hundreds of them off Amazon. They buy all the different brands.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, it's an electronic, so once people know how to make it, like you said, they all seem the same.
Yeah.
It's one of those ones that's, some are the same. There's the cheaper ones that really just gets down to how long they last. But I do think it is actually one of the coolest things, because I had to realize that, yes, 90% of people panic when they're using CO2. They mess it up. They have a bad. That hand pump has allowed people to just air up the top.
Yeah. And that's one of those products that I didn't see coming. And it's like all of a sudden, like in the last probably 2 to 3 years, they're
everywhere.
Yeah.
And yes. And that's why it goes back to everything digital. Who would have thought 5 years ago when we were carrying our favorite hand pump, right?
Yeah.
Even before CO2, like already 10 years ago, now you have a tiny little box that can inflate your tire to 60. So that is exactly what I'm saying. That obviously the advancement of how everything in digital technology is insanely cool. It is coming into the bike world.
Yeah.
You have digital shifting in the most affordable that it's ever been. Companies don't even want cables anymore. They're making it to keep it, but they want people on there. You're getting entry-level road bikes that cost $3,000 to have Shimano digital shifting on it. That used to be a thing that was a $10,000 item. So the digital world, and I think it's because people like that. We're surrounded by digital things. We're surrounded by the connection to that. But that's the biggest thing is the e-bike development's been digital, but the digital integration of shifting, power meters, pedals, sensors in your bars, sensors in your wheels,
Sensors in your shock.
the sensors in your shock. And some of these things are some of the coolest things that you're like, if this has happened within 2 years, what is
Yeah.
So I think that's why we have to embrace it. We want to be known as one of we know e-bikes are getting to a point where we have to take that motor apart and fix something in it.
Yeah.
Yes, we want to do that. We like it. We're educated and we know how to do it, but this is where the bike world's going, and I think that's the biggest shock to me, and I think that's what to expect anyone to see is this. You're seeing digital suspension now. Digital, it's not stopping. It's not going to stop.
And in a world today where we're inundated with AI, everything, bicycles seem to be the last frontier where AI is not really talked about in the cycling industry. So where is that crossover going to happen? Is AI going to benefit or?
I laughed about that is because you see a lot of unfortunate people losing their jobs to AI, and I kind of laugh as this is why bike mechanics still have jobs, is because this isn't something that AI does. The bike mechanic thing is you don't teach a computer how to learn many years of things. They're sure they could troubleshoot, but of how to like work with customers, how to create a culture. Yeah, you could have a robot fix bikes all day. It ain't going to keep a shop open. They probably wouldn't fix it right either. But I think the AI integration in bikes is what you're seeing in these. For instance, like the flight attendant from RockShox, that is an AI software.
Yeah.
It takes your riding stats and then sets up your suspension off of it. So I do absolutely see that coming.
Yeah.
And that's where I think
that makes sense.
Now, maybe if someone that works in a bike company is sitting at a computer that does sales, unfortunately, that may be part of the, but
and
anyone
obviously the design component too.
I think the design, anyone that's been in an engineer aspect of it or that's been behind of the testing, we're lucky. I would like to think we're lucky. It's because it's a different path and knowing everything. But yes, I love learning off this AI software of suspension stuff, but I could tell you half the time I don't think it's set up properly, and even customers will agree that it didn't feel right. And it's because when you preset something and when you assume it's going to be perfect, it's not always perfect. And we see that in the digital world with components. Everyone's told that these things will last perfectly.
There's so much personality behind bikes anyways. It's hard for a computer to railroad you into one parameter because like we talk about all the time, like just a saddle, for instance, you know, what saddle works for me doesn't work for you, doesn't work for Kevin, doesn't work for your wife. So and grips are the same way, and crank length. And,
AI is good for conventional wisdom, but anything that's outside that 60% now, either end.
If you could do it on a computer, yes, it's probably going to win, but we don't build bikes off computers, right?
Yeah.
So I think we started with that, is that you could get a brand new bike that's supposed to be put together perfectly. I've run into so many things that we've had to fabricate or change, that would have never been, like, hopefully never been figured out without knowing how it should have been. Like, you can't program that in. In the world, all we could do is, I guess, if it's going to happen, at least stay in the ground and work with it. You know?
Right.
Because like brands like SRAM and Shimano, they're going to do that. And it can't be in all of them. You have all these electronic shifting brands now, they're trying to introduce it. It's only going to get more and more brands. You're only going to get more and more things you have to learn and make sure it works properly. So if it's going to happen, at least do it.
You're touching on some stuff that, quite frankly, ever since I've met you, it's just been, I've been ultimately fascinated by. I've touched on it before with Brad, where your knowledge you're the Wikipedia of bicycle knowledge of anyone I've ever known. And particularly these days with all this other new stuff coming into the industry, how do you stay on top of everything? There's stuff these days, it's got to be almost impossible to be a bike mechanic because everything is different than it was 10 years ago.
You have to be a nerd.
You know,
You have to be an ultimate nerd.
I will say, I think,
how do you stay on top of it all?
I can't say I do. I can't say as a mechanic, I think it's been my role that I have to at least stay on top of that. I fall behind a lot of the retailer stuff and actions I need to focus on now. But I think it's just about working on things. I actually, when I get things that I even seem hard to a lot of people, if not me, that's what we want to do the best on. And I can't say that 20 years I was able to work on bikes when they were cable actuated brakes and touring steel bikes. So I think it's the coolest thing of learning all the knowledge throughout the year and honestly learning and working with people. Yeah, you always learn. I think that luckily I have a mindset that maybe worked with the career I chose, and I do retain a lot of the technical knowledge because it's what I care about. I know it's going to be my job every day, and it's something that I hope to keep that knowledge of. And there's many things that I could learn aspects of. It's one of those things that I actually give up to other people that when I hear stuff I don't know, I will 100% admit, like, I learned from them. I man, I didn't hear about that going on with this company that I know, or I didn't even hear about these new products that came out. Tell me about it type thing. And I actually, anytime I get the chance to catch up on stuff, I try to, but I think experience is the best thing, and just retaining that and working on everything. We stay open-minded. That's the best part.
Very cool. Very cool. I'm so excited for it all. I can't even put it into words myself.
Yeah, I'm elated. And it seems, I know it was a whirlwind for you too, but it seems like almost like a fever dream to me, because I feel like it was just 2 or 3 months ago when you go, hey, Nico's opening a shop. And I was like, that is so freaking awesome. And then not even 2 months later, I was in here talking to him. It's like, so this the whole thing, even though you said it was a dream like a year ago, it really came around very quick. You guys lucked into the space, and you were telling me all that. I'm just super stoked for you, and I can't wait to see what the community does with this shop.
We literally said when we were building this out is because of friends like you guys. I've mentioned names both times and stuff, and it was because it was like, we are super lucky and fortunate to find a spot here in one of the coolest areas, from our neighbors showing us the spot. We were able to squeeze in here, to having the cool pressure of building this out so that our friends could be here as quick as possible. Literally, that was it. It was like, hey, we miss hanging out in the shop every day just as much as everyone else, and we can't be more excited, man.
There's something so cool about the shop, Hank. It's
literally every day, if we're going to be here, like, when our friends be here, we wanted to build it like our garage, our patio, our type thing. And or at the clubhouse. And as the weather gets warmer, I guarantee you'll just start rides out of here. But it goes down to finding friends of the neighborhood that made us feel so welcome, coming from the industry of a different state of everything. It was very, honestly, just nerve-wracking. Am I going to be able to follow through with something I've done for 20 years? It was literally a question that I had when I came out here, and it was possible just because of the welcoming from friends from Grapevine to everybody. And we're like, you know what? we've never felt it is the Texas culture. It is a community, man. You meet some friends that'll do everything for you, have the coolest rides, the coolest hangouts. We're like, let's make a shop that way.
I think you've positioned yourself
We've
properly.
tried to, and it may create a little harder work, but you know what? I'll just rely on you guys a little more.
I'm going to be a pest here. There's no doubt
that's not
about it. All right. Anything else to throw into the mix, Brad?
Man, I'm excited for you. I can't.
I've got a
say it.
movie for you.
Oh, please tell.
Pagonia.
Oh, I watched it.
What'd you think?
Freaky. The movie finished and I was still going, what a fucked up movie.
In a good way.
Yeah. But yeah.
Let's not give spoilers. To if you haven't seen Begonia yet, you want something off the wall.
Yeah.
It's off the wall, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I can't say that I didn't see the twist coming though.
No, that's almost giving it away. I might have to edit that out.
Okay, that's fun. Dude, welcome to Argyle. Welcome to the community. I am beyond excited, like I said, to see what becomes of this shop and the community. And I'm excited to see the rides that get hosted and the friendships that get formed right here at this bar. And I can't wait to hang out here more.
Yeah, hopefully we do a couple more of these episodes.
All I can
We'll
do-
bring in everybody, man. We can make this. We can't be more excited. Honestly, to wake up every day. Honestly, this past month is, it's at least changed in a super cool way for us of motivation. How we are so excited to literally get to the doors every day, even when we knew we weren't open yet. Me and the wife we knew that we could get our friends here and hang out and let's do it. And
We're going to invite ourselves here every Wednesday that it's raining. We will be here.
Yeah, it's fun. We've had people show up on Sunday and I came in. I'm like, just come on in, just come hang out.
And every once in a while, we may pack up from his patio and come over here to get you to answer a question.
I was talking about the great chef he is. We got to get a food set up, a grill back there and everything. We already got
we're
the
gonna make that
fridge.
happen.
I know we were joking, but no, we're excited. And again, thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you,
literally said
guys.
Spinistry and you guys have mentioned it
Becca,
since day
seriously,
one.
thank you. We appreciate it tremendously.
You guys started literally the theme of the concept is because of doing rides with you guys. Opening up a ride I've never seen or in environments I've never seen is what gave us the concept behind it. It was literally
Found
Yeah.
people's passion for bikes. Like Nico loves bikes and finding people that love riding bikes as much as he does. And it's been the friendships that we've made that people have encouraged us to open up this passion project. It's his career. His career. He's so damn good at
That's
what he
passion.
does, and to be able to just open up a place that our friends and family can come in and then cater to our community, cater to the dusty roads out here, and just make sure everybody's bikes are like,
Nice.
stay busy. It's all about keeping
All
it
right.
going.
Brad,
Best of luck.
send us off, sir.
I think it's a beautiful day to go ride your bike. I have to prep, but I may still get a ride in because it's so pretty.
It's gorgeous. Happy New Year, everyone.
Thanks so much.
Speaking of prepping,